Listen, I need something calming to start this off, because if I don't start with something calming, I'm going to lose it. This doesn't look calming anymore. It's a claw machine. Get it? That's my frustration. That's right. Yeah, you get out of here, stupid claw. Okay, I'm gonna watch that on my own time. This Minesweeper to Sudoku. Can I play this song? I don't know. It could be copy fucked.
Numbers in rows and columns, and we have to complete.
A 4 Sudoku is the easiest Sudoku. Also,
The box. So we have 1, 2, 3.
Can you please leave me alone? I love that playing. It's beautiful. Great job. Great freaking job. I wish I could play a music instrument like I played piano.
Hello and welcome to Monday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic, where on screen you will see
I said I would watch Cracking the Cryptic, and I said I would. I didn't expect to be this disturbed. Now let me just get started by reading this bitch, because forget about anything you think you know about Sudoku or Minesweeper, because we are about to get... I'm not even gonna look at his solve. I'm just gonna look at the end result that he ends up with. Okay, so here's how this works, it seems. The normal 6x6 Sudoku rules apply. Okay, so that seems to be satisfied as far as I'm concerned. I.e. the digits not repeating, and also each box. Minesweeper, however, shade the cells mines and leave orders unshaded if cleared. Two cleared cells are known, although these need its digits to be entered. One of them needs the digit to be entered. Each digit in the cleared cell indicates how many mines, up to 8, although okay. So we have a 6x6 Sudoku. The mines can be up to 8, meaning we're off the scale for numbers here. Surrounding cells. So do you have the correct number? I mean, okay, no, you don't. No 2x3 boxes have the same number of mines. So that means there is a 1, a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And there isn't a 0 mine box, which would make this a lot easier. However, we're not playing this. We're playing this. And so with this, we have to find out like what this is. Now let me explain to you why I'm bothered already, or why I was bothered by the entrance of this, because let me just explain to you how Minesweeper works. This 2 sees 3 bombs. This 4 sees 2 bombs. This 3 sees 3 bombs. That's fine. This 6 can never see 6 bombs because there are only 3 possible missing, and so every 6 on the edge is always a lie. This 6 sees 0 bombs, and could never see 6 because there is only 5 blocks around it. So that's not real, and I'm just losing it. But okay, so if I was to solve this myself, I would get it wrong because this cannot be a 6 by Minesweeper. This cannot be a 5 by Minesweeper because it sees, well, okay, that sees 5. That's correct. But the 3, okay, this 2 sees 3. The 4 sees 2. So if I were to do anything, I would say maybe the 4 sees something off screen that we don't know about. Okay, whatever. Um, and this 3 sees a 3. This is correct, I guess. But this 1 sees 2. This 2 sees 3. This 5 sees 3. I think, and here's the thing.
That with just one digit in a cleared cell and one cleared cell with no digit, and the thing solves. And you get a sort of Joshua tree pattern emerging in the grid. Oh, is it right? Oh, yes, it is. And I get a little emoji.
That's cute, but also it's not solved by Minesweeper rules. I don't know what that is, but I would say that the mines are incorrectly labeled, and that is also never possible. Like, especially when you consider this. What is this? This is a 6 that sees 5, a 5 that sees 3, a 4 that sees 3, a 3 that sees 6. You see how that's a problem? So is it possible that these are mislabeled numbers? And I'm like, I don't know. This 5 is correct. Does that mean that this is a 6 and this is a 2? But then this is a 2 and this is a 2. So this can't be a 2 because this can't be a 2 because this already has a 2 in it. So, and this is a 2, it sees 2. This 4 sees 4, the 3 sees 3. A lot of it is correct. And then I lose my mind when I get up here. I I'm just saying this 4 sees 3. This 1 sees 3. This 1 sees 5. So I'm bothered. Um it's I'm just saying I could not solve I don't know about you, but the Minesweeper part, I don't know how you got it correct on this. I don't know how you didn't blow up. I don't know how the Sudoku part, okay, Sudoku, you did it. Obviously, Sudoku is easy. But I think the Minesweeper part is like, we're gonna just, because you got to this conclusion somehow, and then also, like, it breaks down. The Minesweeper numbers break down. They have to in order to make the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 idea happen, which is novel, but then, like, you got 3 different overlapping ideas. They can't all be right, unless, of course, you do it more robustly, in which case I would actually attempt to solve this. Otherwise, I would get frustrated and leave because it's not solvable. I'm just saying that's me because I don't know what logic you use to make a 6 that only sees 5. Literally only sees 5. Right? A 6 that sees 0. You started with a 6 that sees 0. You started with a 6 that sees 0. So that's okay.
And that's interesting now because I'm so
Okay. I'm just gonna say that I was like, okay, maybe I want to try the things that he does, and I'm like, in this case, I would not, unless, of course, I like, I don't know, I don't know. There's, I have no other notes because um, because the 6 doesn't have 6 doesn't have any possible way of seeing 6. Um, but in a 1 box, can you even have a 6 that could ever see 6? And by Sudoku and by Minesweeper rules, there is no possible way to fill this box. You understand? By Sudoku and Minesweeper rules, this box is always invalid if you combine both rules. This 6 could never see 6. Even if the mines are off screen, there's 3 mines here. That's the most it could see. And then the 1 is invalid. Now you have to imagine a cell that has a 1 there and the 6 be somewhere else. And you can't put the 6 here because the most it can see is 5. He comes to that conclusion. So the 6 has to be here. It's based on Sudoku. It's not based on Minesweeper. And then everything else is like, okay, I guess you found the solution, but also, um, both rules are not going to apply. So I would not consider this to be a complete puzzle. I would consider this to be, wow, you got lucky on the bombs or something. And so, or whatever, it's just a complete bogus puzzle. And so, like when we get to see the end, and it's all solved where the numbers don't match for anything, like a 6 that sees a 4 that sees 3, a 1 that sees 5. Like, can you switch those around? No, because you said the 5 sees 5, so you can't have a 5 in that column by Sudoku. So it's like, huh, but you have 5 bombs there. So what happens if you have the bomb pattern rearranged so that you understand it would actually work by the bombs? And again, the 6 has to see 6 bombs, and there's no way it can do that. So, like, the only way you can have the 6 see 6 bombs is if the bomb was actually, um, like, if the bomb was here, if the 6 was here instead of the 3, then it sees these 2 bombs, this bomb, and 3 on the side. That could be considered correct if you consider the potential bombs on the outside, if that's part of how the puzzle could be considered, which is a caveat I don't consider in the making of the puzzle, which would switch where the 3 goes, and that switches how the rest of the puzzle is, because the 6 and the 3 are different over here, and so this 3 is correct, for where it is, and the 4 is correct. It is incorrect because it sees 5. So it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 around this 4. That's not possible. This 5 sees 3. This 1 sees 2. This 2 sees 2. This 6 sees 0. And I'm all like, uh, it doesn't matter. Also, it can go up to 8, which is, It can go up to 8 on a 6 Sudoku? The rules of 6 Sudoku must rules apply, so it's like, huh? Whatever. If you go, like, is the Sudoku Turing complete? I would say no. Or something. Like, abandon Minesweeper, because I don't know how you got to your answer. I just don't. Like, there, also, in a box that has to have 6 binds, there cannot be a 1. 1 doesn't exist. Because if it was anywhere in the corner, there's gonna be 3 bombs that it sees. So Minesweeper Sudoku is an already foregone conclusion if the third rule also applies, but the third rule, which is each of the boxes or what's what's the third rule? The first rule is Sudoku rules apply, right? The other rule after that is Minesweeper, the shaded cells as mines, the others as unshaded or cleared. That's the third rule, I think. Each digit cleared indicates how many mines. So that's again just the Minesweeper rule. We go on to the bottom rule, which the third rule is no 2 by 3 boxes have the same number of mines. So if I go by 2 of the rules presented, this is correct. If I go by the Minesweeper rules, as Minesweeper people will tell you, this is no nonsense and it means nothing. And you would never solve this if you went by Minesweeper rules. This is special Minesweeper rules of Sudoku Minesweeper, which does not at all follow Minesweeper rules. So, but the only reason you get to the end is because he followed Minesweeper rules, which is not how any of this works. So, I'm just like, okay, you, good job. The good job emoji. If I had the good job clip, I'd be like, good job. And then it would be in there, and then you'd be like, okay. His video is only so long. I can't be this long just reacting to a puzzle that is impossible. Yeah. I mean, it's nice that some of the rules apply, but then the rest of them have the Minesweeper main core rule has to be thrown out, and that you gotta wonder, is there a possibility for Minesweeper rule again? The one would have to always see the minimum is 3. So, like if the one is in the corner, right? The minimum it can see is 3 in a 6 block. And because of this last rule, the 6 block must exist. I would say, even if there is a start, um, a zero, if you have one that has no mine in it, so it could start with 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Even in a 5 block, where 2 of them must be mines, and 1 of them is empty, this 1 would see 2. Imagine there's a 1 there. Okay, imagine this scenario, right? This is correct, but then in a 5 block, it has to look like this, and then this 1 sees 2, and that's false by Minesweeper. So that's the problem with it, that there's no way that the last rule can apply, and the regular rules of Minesweeper also apply. So it is that, so whatever. I mean, if I had to apply Minesweeper rules, I would just say I can't solve this puzzle. If I have to apply the odd mine situation with the last rule, the very last rule, I would say, okay, perhaps it's solvable, but not actually, because it's just an arbitrary sudoku with some colored puzzle pieces that mean nothing. Do you understand? Like, I'm lost. He's happy. Good for you, buddy. I'm furious, pissed off, and sad because I would never come to any conclusion that works with this. That's about it. Thanks for my I'm not bothered about him. I'm not bothered about the puzzle maker. I'm just saying in general, this is not Minesweeper. And so, like, it said it was correct. That's the thing, is that it said it's correct, which only works by the last rule, not by regular Minesweeper rules. So whatever. Yep. Sorry, that's Dingo Doodles. Go watch her. She's way better than me. Yep. Can I please leave?